Hello, 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 Leverage Nation. Welcome to Office Hours. I hope you're doing well. Look at that. We got an early question already in from David. I love it. Thank you, David. Welcome. We've got I've got a good lineup of questions queued up as well that have come in here in the community over the last couple of days that I thought were best answered here because they were pretty in-depth. So we've got some good stuff to get rolling with here, and we'll get started in just one moment. We'll let some more people join in here, but I hope everybody is doing well. Welcome to a special early edition of Office Hours, since today is Wednesday and we normally do these things on Friday, but I'm traveling this week and I wanted to make sure and get this in still. So thank you for accommodating the schedule and joining me here. Welcome, David. Good to see you, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's having a good week. I almost overlooked this call because I was absolutely buried designing workflows for my business. As I know many of you are using HighLevel. I was in HighLevel, cranking out workflows and testing automations and all this good stuff. I actually had a call this morning with Sean Clark, the founder and CEO of HighLevel, who was giving me a little bit of guidance, which was great. He is, it's amazing to me how hands-on he still is in supporting his customers, which I love. I think it's fantastic. So Ethan says, Wednesday is great for this. Awesome. Awesome, Ethan. I'm glad it works out for you. Mike Chapman, welcome. Good to see you. All right, good. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it here. I want to keep these things on schedule, so let's go ahead and do it. David Marlowe says, early question, which of your courses helps me get started leveraging Go HighLevel services into my niche and bundling them as a service? Okay, cool. David, I would say it depends on the degree of commitment you have, and also to the degree of which you have confidence in you can design services yourself around HighLevel. And so the reason why I say that is you could join my Services That Scale Mastermind, and in that you will get my Services That Scale course. Okay, that will be included with that. The Services That Scale course has all of the fundamentals about how I think about designing services so that they're scalable. Okay. And so from those principles, you can then design using HighLevel. Okay. You could also design services though from that course, not using HighLevel because it's more like, principle based than it is like specific tactical execution in HighLevel. In the Services That Scale Mastermind, and this is why I recommend the mastermind instead of just the course, in that mastermind, the far majority of my customers are using HighLevel. And so I give specific examples of execution in HighLevel, workflow templates that you can use, snapshots that you can use, things like that. Okay. If you were looking for a much more hands-on approach to all of that to help you with the design of the services, then you could join my MSP Academy. MSP Academy, the live session of it. I'm going to do 3 live sessions this year for that program that are 6 weeks long. This one just kicked off this week, so you can still join in there and be a part of that. And that's, like I said, it's just going to be, it's more hands-on. You're getting time with me every single week. Like I said, it just depends on your degree of kind of comfort level there as to which one would be most appropriate for you. Okay. So I hope that helps you, and certainly let me know any questions along the way. I think that I might have, let me see here. Yeah. Okay. So that's for MSP Academy. Which MSP Academy and Services That Scale Mastermind, you can get access to either of those for free if you sign up for HighLevel through me. Okay. Signing up for HighLevel through me, I get commission from them. And so I'll just use that to cover the cost of the program. Okay. So that's for MSP Academy. And then let's see here for just go ahead and put in real quick for scale.com/mastermind. Okay, that would be for the services that scale mastermind right there. Okay. So you can check those out. Just let me know if you have any questions. And thank you for your question here to get started. I appreciate it. All right, we got lots of good questions. Welcome, Doran. Welcome, Janelle, Sam, Aaron, Eric, Daryl. Awesome. Welcome, 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 welcome. I see good questions coming in. I will get to all these questions here, I promise, as we go along, okay? Let's see here. All right, let's talk about, actually, before I get any further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the invite link into the chat. The invite link is if you want to join me on camera, okay? So if you want to join me on camera so we can have a conversation to discuss anything that's, too hard to discuss via chat, and that type of thing, then we can do that live. So I just went ahead and put that in there. Hey, Rajesh. Hey, Janice. That's if you want to come on camera and talk to me. Okay. Don't worry if you use that link, you're not just going to all of a sudden show up on the screen. Okay. You'll show up backstage. I'll see you here, and then I can, tell you I'm about to put you on screen so you can make sure you got clothes on, all that good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and see here what are other questions. Janelle says, I have a client who's interested in reactivating her database. Do you have a proposal template for this and services that scale? Janelle, I do not have a proposal template specifically for that. No, I just have a generic proposal template structure that I follow. So if I were going to create a proposal for that, I would just keep it super simple. That's the only way I would ever do proposals, because I typically never do a proposal anymore, period. I know some people still want to do them, or still, the customer still requests them. But I would just put a very simple list of bullet points of here's what we require from you. We need access to this. We need your customer list. We need blah, blah, blah. And then here's what we are going to do. And here's how much it costs. I would just keep it super, super simple like that. Okay. Sam says, good question here, Sam. When building websites for clients, should they buy the domain or should I? They should buy the domain. Okay. I know that there are people out there that teach that, if you can get the domain, then you have control over them because you own the domain and you could sell that back to them at a markup. To me, I think that's unethical. It's their business. They should have the domain. Tell them to register the domain or get into their account and register it for them, whatever. But they should own the domain. It's their business. And they should own the website as well, right? They should own the website as well. You could have a rental website where they are renting an existing website from you. So, let's say you're selling to plumbers and you create a plumbing lead generation website in your market. You could rent that to them, but they would still have their own website and they're just renting this from you. And they go into it knowing it is a rental agreement. It's your asset, you own it, and they're just renting it from you. Then that's fine, because that's the expectation from day one. But if you are building them a website, it should be their domain, their website, ideally hosting it through you, so you're getting that recurring revenue, but they own the asset. Okay. Let's see here. Aaron says, when are you going to launch the new version of LMA? I know you said soon. LMLA, you're referring to Local Media Launch Accelerator. I'm going to, my plan is here, Aaron, in the next 30 days. Okay. So soon. Hey, Eric, good to see you. Welcome, sir. Daryl says, I got the scavenger hunt program. Awesome, Daryl. Have changed my whole business model. Talking with our local business owners is so much easier now. I love that, Daryl. Awesome. Thank you so much to hear. And thank you to Tim Fondrick, who is my partner in crime on that and really the person who created the system. I'm super glad, Daryl, to hear that. That's awesome. Rajesh says, sign up reactivation. How do I go about it? Rajesh, please go ahead and email our support on that one, just so I can make sure and not tie up the call. And then also get you, make sure I get the exact details that you need. Okay. There is the support address. And then let's see here. Lots of good stuff. Thank you, everybody. Hi, Janice. Happy Wednesday. Angie says, how do you explain to someone that you need access to their domain to set up Mailgun? Or do you not even have that conversation? Is it just confusion they don't need? Okay. No. So you need to, yes. So there will have to be a DNS record that is entered to set up the replies. If you're doing like replies.their domain, then you're going to need to set that up with their DNS. I think the only way to explain it to them is just to say, there is a system that acts as kind of like the address system of the internet. I was actually just talking to Sean Clark about this morning, and is the language that he used. It's the address system of the internet. It tells traffic on the internet where to go. When somebody types in this, it tells them to go here, right? We need to put in the correct directions, right, for this address for the service for you, so that the internet knows where to send stuff. And so unless you have somebody on your team that manages your DNS, then, we'll need to do that for you. So I think that, if you explain it that way, it's just kind of, easy to understand language. And I've never run into any problems with anybody then, allowing us to do that. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, cool. Perfect. That's what I say. Awesome. Perfect. Let's see here. You bet, Aaron. Let's see here. Dave says, what are the best sources to plan projection? Okay, Dave. All right. Dave's been trying to get me to fill out this form and answer this question here all week. Thank you for your patience, Dave. It is way too big. At least the way that you've asked it, it is way too big of a question for me to respond in a form like that. Okay. So that's why I said, come on this call. So I appreciate it. If you want to come on camera so we can discuss this in more detail, that may be helpful. I'll be honest with you, because I know what you've put in here is a smaller slice of the overall question. So I will answer this, but if you want to come on camera and chat, okay, then you can. So Dave is asking this question related to actually what Aaron was asking about earlier about the local media business. Dave is interested in the local media business, but he's saying, I need to have some ability to map out some projections, because he's got somebody that is considering to invest in the model. No problem, Dave. And so he's saying, this investor, I need to be able to give him some more, substance to be able to talk to him about this, which I totally get. Got to have some sort of projections and modeling and all that good stuff. So what are the best sources to plan projections for campaigns, i.e. market size, ad costs, impressions, conversions? Okay, this will help us manage resources. Dave, man, this one is tough. And the reason why it's tough is that you could have, you could take two totally different approaches or anything in between to building up your media in a particular local market. So let me just give you an example. In San Diego, I could just start being on Instagram, being on Facebook, posting content every single day, engaging with the social network that's out there, just hustling. Okay. And I would build up my audience, build up my brand, build up my newsletter list, and I can take that approach. It will take me longer than if I throw money at it, right? You could then, let's say we're going to take the throw money at it option. Okay. You could spend $1,000 a month and grow that. You could spend $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month. The more you spend, the faster it will go. Okay. And the more traffic and visibility you will get. So let me then just, all that being said, let's just pick a number, and let's just say that I'm going to spend $5,000 a month because that's what I feel like I can invest in getting this business started. Okay. So I'm going to say, here's my budget, $5,000 a month. My objective is to grow my audience and grow my list using that $5,000 a month. Okay. So growing my audience and growing my list are really two different types of campaigns. One is a traffic, attention, awareness campaign. The other one is a list building campaign. Okay. They will both accomplish both of those things. It's just to a lesser degree or more degree than the other, right? So in other words, your lead generation campaign is still going to be putting your name out there, building your brand, building your audience, but it's really going to be focused on generating leads. Whereas if you just promote some content and use that to grow your audience, you will generate some leads from that as well, from people coming to your website, signing up for your newsletter, that type of thing. But the far majority of that traffic is just going to come, read the article. Maybe they're going to follow your page, that type of thing, right? So, but let's just say that you're going to run both of those types of campaigns concurrently so that you are building up both just your general audience and attention and also adding people to your list. Okay. Very, very rough ballparks here. And this is totally dependent on a bunch of variables. Okay. And so what I mean by that is your media going to be entertainment focused, restaurants, bars, events, things like that, like I do there in San Diego? Or is it going to be real estate focused? Is it going to be a luxury real estate focused media in your local market, right? Which you could do either one successfully. If you're doing a more general entertainment thing like I'm doing, bars, restaurants, concerts, my traffic is definitely going to be cheaper to get, and my leads are going to be cheaper to get than yours are probably going to be if you are targeting luxury buyers in your market because you're doing something for luxury real estate. Okay. So if you're targeting people with luxury real estate interests and budget and all that type of stuff in your market, Facebook is going to charge you more for those people than me just generally running ads to 25-year-olds to get them to opt in for, the chance to win free concert tickets. And the discrepancy, the difference in prices there could be huge. When I say huge, I can get traffic for their San Diego, major market, very attractive market. I can get $5 CPMs on Facebook. Okay, $5 cost per thousand on Facebook because I'm doing just like very general targeting with my campaigns. If I were targeting specifically luxury, high income, certain zip codes, all that type of stuff, and I only wanted my ads shown to those people, it would drop the population so much, and it would be such an attractive population from a demographics perspective, income and all that stuff, that Facebook's going to charge me much, much more. So they could charge me $100 CPMs instead of $5, literally 20 times the difference, or 20 times the price. Okay. So, big variables there. But this is the way, Dave, that you're going to have to think about this. And you can start to get these numbers without ever spending a dollar. You can get these numbers by going into the Facebook campaign manager, right? Facebook ad manager. And this is what I would recommend that you do. Go into the Facebook ad manager and start pretending that you're going to run these campaigns. Literally build a couple of campaigns, start choosing some target audiences and see what happens to your CPMs. Okay. Because now let's say that you have the $100 CPMs and you have $5,000 to spend over 30 days. Well, then you can say, okay, at $100 CPMs divided into 5,000, here's the potential number of impressions that I can buy in this 30-day period, given these CPMs that they're going to charge me. So now you can start to work down that math. You can say, okay, I'm going to get this many impressions. And let's just keep it super simple. Half of those impressions, I'm just going to be doing these attention campaigns for my content, just try and get my content seen. And the other half, I'm going to do lead generation. Okay. On the traffic campaigns, okay, you are going to just be sending people to your site, reading your content. And you should not, I would not even try to estimate how many leads that you're going to get from that. But if you're going to, let's just say 1% of your traffic, just to be super conservative, 1% of that traffic will actually opt into your newsletter. If you have a newsletter opt-in on your site saying, hey, we publish this site about such and such in this market, opt in, right? To stay up to date with our newsletter, 1% of those people who visit your site are actually going to opt in. Okay. Conservative. Could you get it up to 5%? Absolutely. On the lead generation campaigns, okay, if you're doing something smart with your lead generation, so you're giving away something pretty attractive for the lead magnet. So as an example, I'll give away concert tickets here in San Diego. Okay. When I give away concert tickets to San Diego, to something here in San Diego, I'll get at least 50% opt-ins, 50% opt-in rate on those campaigns. And I'll get as high as 75% opt-in rates on those campaigns. Okay. If you're doing something more typical, so not as sexy as free concert tickets, it's more of a typical, just kind of lead magnet type of thing, maybe you'll get 20% opt-in rates. Okay. So again, you can take those numbers and start to model then, hey, if we spend $5,000, we can expect that we're going to start generating, 2,500 here, 2,500 there, that we're going to start generating these kind of impressions, these kind of visitor numbers to our content. And then we're going to start generating this many leads onto our list. Okay. That's a $5,000 a month ad spend. Now that is totally just modeling based on a bunch of assumptions. And then what you're going to do is you're actually going to go fire up some campaigns when you decide to jump into the business, and you want to compare them right away to those assumptions and see, how did I do at modeling? And you're going to be wrong, period, end of sentence. Whatever you modeled is going to be wrong because now you're going to run smack dab into reality, and then you can start changing your plans, updating your plans based on reality. Okay. So I hope that helps you. Then there's the other side of the business, Dave. So now you're generating a list. You've got an email newsletter list that you can send emails to. And you've got people visiting your site that you could sell advertising against those visitors, right? And so now you can start modeling the revenue side of it as well. You can say, okay, once we hit 2,500 people on our newsletter, we're confident that we can start selling some ads, at least for a couple $100 a pop, $250 a pop in our newsletter to sell, because we're going to have 2,500 local people interested in luxury real estate that we can start emailing to. And again, you're just going to start making some estimates. Okay. You can estimate based on the value of the audience that you are selling to. That you are going to be able to advertise to through your market, and also those CPM rates that you were getting charged by Facebook. So what I'm saying here, just trying to clarify this, is if Facebook was charging you $100 CPMs to target that audience, well, then you should be able to charge $100 CPMs or more to target that audience, to have other people target the audience that you've now collected, right? Because you have collected essentially those people who are interested in luxury real estate onto your list. If Facebook was saying, hey, just to generically target those people on Facebook is $100 CPM, once you've got them opted in and they've actually raised their hand and said, hey, I'm interested in real estate, you should be able to charge more than $100 CPMs, right? Because now anybody who wants to advertise to your people through you is no longer just generically advertising to people on Facebook that look like they should be interested in luxury real estate. They're now advertising through you to people who have actually raised their hand and opted in and said, we're interested in luxury real estate. How much is that worth? 2 times So could you charge $200 CPMs, 2.5 times, $250 CPMs? Absolutely, you could make the case for either of those numbers. Okay, you're going to have to decide. You could go out and research some competitors out there. There's all kinds of magazines that focus on luxury real estate in every market around the country. You could get the media kit of one of those magazines or their online newsletter or whatever it is. Get their media kit and see what they're charging so that you can model the revenue side of it. Okay, so now you've got a model for the cost and traffic generation side of it. Now you've got a model for the revenue side of it based on the audience that you think that you'll be developing through your investments in getting traffic and building your list. Okay, you can see why I didn't want to answer this in a chat form. This is and really what I'm doing now is just scratching the surface. What we should do, good old MBA, modeling. I went to business school, right? We should pull up spreadsheets and we should start, modeling out, traffic, revenue, yada, yada, and listing all of our assumptions very clearly and all that type of stuff. Or more my style is to just get going and go for it and start getting the numbers as I go for it by real world stuff. That's the way I prefer to do it at this point. I'll take a little bit of money, some money that I'm comfortable with, spend it, get some results and go, okay, now I've got some real data. Now this is not just hypothetical BS in my head. Okay. And the business model is no mystery. It's not like you're starting Tesla, for the first time. Can I make electric cars and figure out the cost there? And can I generate electricity for enough and generate revenue to offset that? This is advertising. The whole world understands and does advertising. Media is an absolutely proven model. If you can go out and acquire eyeballs for less than you can sell those eyeballs, and the difference in between is big enough that you make a profit, that's the media business. So this is not rocket science. And so for me personally, because that business model is so clear and so well understood in my head, there's only so much time I'm going to spend personally on trying to model hypotheticals. It's just, I have a general understanding of the cost of getting traffic and a general understanding of what the CPMs are that my competition is out there selling for. Great, let's go for it. So that's my approach. I hope that helps you. And I know, I wish we could sit down and go through all the details of it, but that's exactly how I would go about it. Okay. I hope that helps you. Eric Scott says, does database reactivation work with medical niches in terms of HIPAA? Honestly, Eric, I have no clue. I have no clue about the details of HIPAA, and I personally would avoid anything medical related, me personally, because of HIPAA. Like I don't want to be in a business where I have to stress about that stuff. So I just don't have a good answer for you. Maybe somebody else could tell you what the rules are around that. Dave, good. Absolutely. I'm glad that helped. Let's see here. Rajesh says, how do I do marketing for a casino? Is that casino you mean, Rajesh? Oh yeah, casino kinds of digital business. Yeah, cool. Well, first of all, you would have to find where it's legal, right, to do that. I know, lots of sites like, Facebook isn't going to let you run gambling ads, so you're going to have to find out where you could even do that. You're going to have to know the state laws or the law, country laws or anything like that of wherever you're advertising it. Those would be the first things I would look into. And then I would, I would always, reverse engineer whatever anybody else that's already successful is doing, right? So go look for major competitors, major gambling sites, and look at where they're advertising and how they're advertising and what their offers are. And then, like I said, I would reverse engineer that. My guess is that private, sponsoring like newsletter blasts for related content will probably be very successful. So I'm sure there are all kinds of, people who are big time gamblers and stuff, and people who like to go to casinos that are on like newsletter lists related to that. And so you could run an ad in somebody's newsletter list to promote, whatever your site is. My guess is it's going to be those types of things, because I think a lot of the ad networks are not going to allow gambling ads. So, but that will be specific to the market you're looking to advertise in, all that good stuff. And I think you just gotta do that research and backwards, engineer it a bit. John says, with the free website model, are you using Go HighLevel for the hosting? Is there another hosting option? Yeah, John, I would absolutely use Go HighLevel for the hosting for that. That is what makes that free website model like just so attractive. Using Go HighLevel, it just gives you awesome margins, one, and it gives you a really, really easy ability to upsell the additional features of HighLevel with that website. So I would absolutely be all over using HighLevel for that. Could you use another hosting option? Sure, you could. I mean, there's a bazillion, WordPress hosting sites, WordPress hosting options out there. You're going to pay more, right? And you're going to have less ease of integration into the HighLevel functionality to be able to upsell. It's not to say that you can't do it. You can. I mean, HighLevel's got some cool WordPress integrations now, but it's just gonna be a little bit more challenging. And anytime you're selling to small businesses, you want to remove the friction of your sales and service delivery as much as possible, because that friction can really chip away at your margins. So yeah, I would absolutely be using HighLevel for that. Dave says, Eric, your client should be HIPAA compliant. Is pretty much all you need, assuming you are the vendor or service provider to them. Cool. All right, let's see here. I have some questions that came into the community in addition to Dave's there that I was going to respond to. Let me share my, let's see here. Let me share my screen real quick. Let me find what I'm trying to share. I've got too many browser tabs open as usual. Let's see here. Where is it at? Oh, there we go. All right. So this is inside of our Circle community, which if you're not in our Circle community, I'd love for you to be in there. But I pinned a couple of posts here so that I could see, I can make sure and get to them easily. Okay, so here was one from Johnny Serrano. Welcome. Says, I want to share the good news that I've closed a client to do a paid advertisement. I charge $4.99 a month and waive the setup fee to win the deal. Plus, it's a friend of mine. Ad spend will be roughly $300 to $400 monthly. Challenge part, I don't have a process to onboard this client and be able to gather the info required to begin fulfillment. I have the idea on what I need to do, but I don't have the experience. So here's where I need your guys' help. I need to define the easiest way without complicating myself to onboard and fulfill the client. So, have any of you run lead gen campaigns for the pressure washing business? I would like to know one or two campaign types, ad creative ideas, and copy style that you've had that's had good results. All right, first, we're just going to start right there. Let's go with number one. What I would do, Johnny, is for any local businesses like this, where I'm looking to get, like aggressive kind of response, I would head to Groupon and I would see what Groupon has offered so that I can get a sense of what is out there working. Okay. The reason why I say that is that, Groupon is such a good, aggressive, direct response marketer that I would look at offers. You can see there's a couple of pressure washing offers up here. They don't have a bunch of ratings and only says 10 plus bot. That's actual to buy a gun though. This is washy pressure washing, 1 rating, 132 bucks, 12% off. So that's a lesson for you right there. 12% off is a pretty terrible offer. I'm surprised that Groupon is actually even letting that run. So I would look at some of the other cleaning offers. Like carpet cleaners do an excellent job with their offers on here. I know. So like I would look at this. Here's reset cleanup ready. That's basic house cleaning. Here's carpet cleaning. It's got 435 ratings, and you can see they're 50% off. And usually what they do is they're pretty clever usually about doing some upsells and stuff, which you can see over here. And they're usually also pretty clever about like the restrictions on it. So you can see here, carpet cleaning for 1 room and a hallway up to 200 square feet total. So once they're in there and they clean some of the carpet, they know that that person's going to see, oh, geez, now I have this section of really nice looking clean carpet. I don't want to have just one section of really nice clean carpet. Now I need, everything to look nice and clean, right? And so then it's an easy upsell for them to go, well, look, I'm already out here for another $100. I'll just go ahead and finish all the carpet for you, that type of thing, right? I would imagine the exact same thing could be done with pressure washing. It's like, we'll come out and we'll do, 1 wall of your house or whatever it is. And then, once they see, oh, wow, look how clean that was. There's an upsell where you go, hey, look, while we're out here, we'll extend our discount to the rest of your house. Normally it would be $500. We can do the rest for $250. Okay. I would look at Groupon. I would study these offers. Groupon is, like I said, they're geniuses at local direct response. Here's the deal is that you've got to have the buy-in from your customer, as in the person that you're working with to do the advertising, for them to understand that, hey, you're giving a really good deal to get your foot in the door with more people. You've got to be a salesperson and understand then how to actually upsell and follow up with these customers and stuff like that to turn them into good long-term recurring or good long-term revenue, right? Maximize the lifetime value, because that's what so many people complain about Groupon. Small businesses, will bitch and complain about Groupon. Oh, they took all our money. No, Groupon acquired a customer for you at dirt cheap. You're just terrible at doing any sort of follow-up marketing or sales to actually maximize the lifetime value now that you have actually somebody on the hook. That's not Groupon's fault. That's your fault, right? So, Groupon got a really bad rap from a lot of small businesses when the reality is their service crushed, and small businesses just unfortunately tend to really stink at doing any sort of sales and follow-up marketing. So I would do that. That's my answer for number 1, is to really closely model an offer there. Do you recommend running traffic ads to landing pages, then fill in an opt-in form, or is it better Facebook leads to keep the user inside of Facebook? I've run both, and I really have not noticed any sort of consistent performance difference one way or the other. So sometimes the Facebook lead ads will do much better than my opt-in forms. Sometimes it's the opposite. I really would not worry about that too much. Whatever is best and easiest for you to get the thing up and running and set it up the way that you want it. And so what I mean by that is that if you send them to your own landing page and you got them to opt in, you could then have a funnel where then on the thank you page, you're making some upsell offers and things like that you're not going to be able to do if you do that as a Facebook lead ad. So if you want to have more control and you're willing to set up a more thoughtful funnel and stuff, then take them to your own landing page for sure. Okay. Number 3 here, as part of your efforts to get results, would you combine retargeting? How does this play inside the campaigns? Typically, the answer for retargeting is always absolutely yes. Do the retargeting. Okay, retargeting always pays off. Retargeting always has an ROI. The only concern that I have here is that you have a real small budget. And so if you're going to set up the retargeting campaign, I would just use a very small, very small budget, because your total budget is so small. Maybe you're going to spend, put $25, $50 maybe of that budget into the retargeting campaign per month, right? So like you're just not going to spend very much money at all. But whoever this is that you're doing this for probably doesn't have very much traffic to retarget anyway, so that budget should be plenty. But the rest of your budget, you want to spend on getting new leads. And if you put a really good offer out there, you model one of those Groupon offers like we talked about, the people that are going to opt in are probably going to opt in on their first visit, like the majority of them, right? This is not a real hard offer to consider. It's, if I clicked on an ad for pressure washing at a discount and I got to that form and it's a good discount, right? Then I'm probably just going to go ahead and opt in right there on the spot. This is probably not something that I'm going to spend, the next 2 weeks thinking about and then be convinced by the retargeting ads. Now, there's always, though, again, retargeting always works. So there's going to be a percentage of people that for whatever reason did not complete the form. They clicked on the ad when they were on their mobile device, driving when they shouldn't have been, and then meant to go fill it in later and didn't and forgot. And so the retargeting is absolutely going to get you more leads. Just don't go too crazy with it from a budget perspective right now, since your budget is so low. Number 4, do you have a high-level onboarding snapshot for this type of service that you're willing to share, or just share the step flow process? In my workflows snapshot, Johnny, there is an onboarding process in there. It's just a framework. It's a skeleton, because it's meant to be able to be used no matter what you're selling. You just got to, fine tune the details of it. It's very straightforward. I'll just walk you through right now. When somebody signs up, you should send them an onboarding survey where you collect the information that you need to get your services started. And then a lot of your customers, this is a friend of yours, so you should be able to just get them on the phone and say, hey man, fill out that form. A lot of people will drag their heels filling out their forms and getting you the information that you need to start your services. And you don't want that to happen for too long, because then you could lose that account, right? I mean, if they sign up with you and then they take 3 weeks to fill out their form, all of a sudden their attention's going elsewhere. You could lose the momentum on that account. Again, this is a friend of yours, so you should be able to just kind of, twist his arm a little bit and say, hey, let's get this done right away. But just send out a survey, build the survey in HighLevel to collect the information that you need. And then, just, again, follow up to make sure that they actually fill that out so you can start the services. It's pretty much as simple as that. The onboarding survey, in terms of the information that you're going to need to collect for this, basic information, which it sounds like you probably already will have, which is like, website address, phone number, things like that. And then my guess is that your customer here, based on the way that you've described the situation, doesn't have landing pages that they want to drive stuff to, that you're going to be setting all that up. So you'll have control there. The biggest challenge with this, and in doing this kind of service for small businesses, is, do they currently have a Facebook ad campaign? Ad account set up already, and getting them to then add you to have agency access to that account, so that you can get into that account and work and create the campaigns and stuff like that, is usually the biggest challenge with this type of thing with small businesses. Oftentimes they may have an account, but don't even really know how to get into it. They've got an expired credit card in there. They've got, all that type of jazz. It can just be a little bit of a pain in the neck. So you're gonna have to figure that out. That's probably your biggest challenge in all of this, is my guess. Okay. Once a lead is in, what should the follow-up look like? Follow-up should look pretty aggressive, chase formula style. Okay. So when I say chase formula style, what I mean by that is that, every statistic shows that when you get a new lead, if you don't follow up with them immediately and you don't follow up with them many times in a concentrated period of time, so like 8 to 10 days, if you don't hit them with a bunch of touches, you've essentially lost that lead. Okay. The statistics are pretty crazy. Like if you wait more than like 5 minutes to follow up with a lead, the chances that you will get a response from them, period, drop by like 50%. It's nuts. So, and then if you only follow up one time, which is what most salespeople do, you've lost like 80% of your leads. So you have to follow up fast and frequently. So as soon as somebody opts in, you should be sending them a text message is what I would do. Send them a text message saying, hey, awesome. When would you like to schedule your pressure washing? Right? And just try and get them immediately into the conversation about when do they want to get it scheduled. All right. So, and if they don't respond right away, you should be following up. I do text, phone calls. I mean, for a pressure washing business, my guess is that the lifetime value, again, if your friend is smart, the lifetime value of those customers can probably be pretty darn good. You put them on a recurring revenue plan, all that type of stuff. It's actually, I think, probably a really good business. You can justify to do some phone call follow-up and all that type of stuff. So over like an 8-day period after that opt-in comes in, you want to be hitting them. Boom, 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 multiple times a day, text, email, phone call, like get after them. Okay. And then the final part of this question was, client does not want to use a calendar. He wants to talk to the lead. And you said, I know that this is not the best idea. No, that's actually not a bad idea at all. If you're able to, if that person is able to follow up and get them on the phone, that's fantastic. Here's the key is they can't be a slacker about this. You need to talk to them about the importance of immediate follow-up. If they're not going to do immediate follow-up, they're going to lose the leads. So as long as this person is going to be on it, that's awesome. I would not rely on them to be on it. Very few small businesses are. So I would make sure that you're using text messages to kind of force the follow-up, right? Hey, that's great. You want to get them on the phone. What we're going to do is we're going to send them a text message right away so that they know that we're following up with them. Some of those people are going to respond on text. Some of those people are then just going to call you right back or you can call them or whatever, right? But we're going to text to make sure that if you're busy, you're out pressure washing, whatever, that we're not going to lose these leads. All right. Awesome. I hope that helps you, Johnny. Of course, you know how to reach me. So, I'm happy to help, kind of follow up on any of that. Okay. Rajesh says, this is my new Mac studio on the way. Not yet, but I'm super excited about that. I want to get one bad. Johnny says, what's the best ad platform? Facebook, IG, Google ads to start a lead gen campaign for the for the pressure washing biz. I would definitely do Facebook and Google. I would not bother with Instagram at all. I would do Facebook and Google. Okay. Google, obviously search ads. So that's awesome. Anybody who's out there searching for pressure washing, then you can, make sure you're showing up. But I would also be doing Facebook. Facebook is just direct response ads. I would target, I don't know. It'd be interesting to test homeowners, commercial businesses, things like that. I imagine the commercial business contracts you could get for pressure washing would be great. John says, is there a way to catch the remainder of office hours if we leave early? Yeah, absolutely, John. So these are live streamed to our YouTube channel. So they are always up there on our YouTube channel. There's a channel playlist on our YouTube channel. Let me just go there real quick. I'll just show you real fast. But yes, you can see the replays up there right away, always for these office hours, okay? I'll pull that up here in the background and show you. And then I will get to the next question here. But if you, so I'll just show you sharing this tab. So you should see my YouTube channel here. Okay, so there's a YouTube channel right there. I would love it. Please go all subscribe if you are not subscribed yet. This is the #1 channel that I'm focusing on growing this year. My goal is to get to 50,000 subscribers, and I'm just getting started, and I'm not even to 2,000 yet, but that's 1,500 more than I had a couple of months ago. So we're growing, we're making progress. But I would love for you to subscribe, please. You can see right now, it's got this little live icon on there right now because the office hours call is actually live right now on YouTube. But also, if you go to my playlist tab right there, back over there, hit playlists, and you will actually see that I actually have an office hours playlist right here. And so if you were to, that is going to pull up the video, but if you were to go to, sorry, if I think I hit the wrong, yeah, if I go to view full playlist, oops, hold on here, then you will actually see all of the old office hours there, okay? We are doing our best to make sure that we put some sort of description and notes and timestamps in there so that you can see what was covered and at what point of the call, so you can just jump right to it. Sometimes, I will be honest, we are a little bit behind on that, but we're doing a pretty good job of keeping on top of them. So, so that's the way you can see the remainder. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, darn, man, you're making me jealous. Got the new Mac with the M1. That's awesome. Okay. Julio says, I would like to focus on the restaurant niche and like the events workflows you talked about on YouTube, but still don't have Go HighLevel. Are restaurant niche resources included with your Go HighLevel link? Well, what I include is my workflow templates and snapshots and things like that, but they're not specific to the restaurant business. They're designed so that you could set them up for any industry. So you would need to go in and, build your approach to how you want to do it for the restaurant industry specifically. But if you're in Go HighLevel and you're in my community, I'm happy to help give you guidance on that for sure. Howard says, easiest way to speed up ad services is to run the ads from our account. Yes, absolutely. Yes. So this is a good point that Howard is making. This is the way personally, this is talking to Johnny. This is referring back to your question. This is the way I always do it, which is I just run the ad campaigns from my account. And so, you just need to set up, like Howard said, a generic niche Facebook page. So if I was going to be doing, just ads for businesses in San Diego, I would set up an account that's like, San Diego deals or San Diego small businesses or something like that. So that I could run ads for any, essentially any business in San Diego using that account. Okay. Dreaming Soccer says, I have a question. Awesome. Dreaming Soccer, if you'd like to ask the question, you can type it in here, or you can use the invite link to come and join me backstage here. I will put the invite link back into the comments here one more time. You can use that invite link to join me backstage, and I will bring it on camera. Okay. Rajesh says, Mike, most of your teachable content is not available on the mobile app. That is disappointing for me to hear, and I don't know that, Rajesh. I want to figure that out. I did not know that. Kyle, my man, says, you mentioned a podcast agency as great examples of scalable services. Could you remind me what that was? Let's go see here real quick. Let me go see. And let me just go back to share my screen. Oh, I think it's Olu. I see you back there, sir. I'll be with you here in just one moment. I'm assuming you're Dreaming Soccer probably. I will be there in one moment. Let's see here. Let's do podcast editing services and see what we can find. Yeah, here we go. This is, let me go ahead. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. This is one that I have seen that I may have been referring to. I mean, there's several of them out there, of course, but I think that this was the one that I might have been referring to. Next Day Podcasting. So podcast editing, mixing, and mastering in 24 hours. And then we make podcasting easy. You can see it's like super dialed in to, hey, here's exactly what we do, how we do it. We've got our process, and then we've got our packages right here. And I think if I remember, they just said, yeah, handful of simple packages, handful of simple upsells. Put it on recurring. You know, how many episodes do you want to do each month? We'll put it on recurring. Here's a little launch package if you want us to help you launch your podcast. I love this service. This is a perfect example of what I call a function-focused service instead of an industry-focused service. So a function, podcasting, right? A function, video editing, a function, follow-up campaigns, whatever it is. There are so many service opportunities for you to pick a specific function and focus on that instead of trying to be the gurus of the chiropractic industry or the gurus of the dental industry. Almost everybody in the agency space or marketing services space is trying to be the guru of, you know, whatever industry. That's hard if you're not a guru, you know, and a lot of people getting in this business, you're not gurus. Okay. And I'm not saying that in any derogatory way. I'm just saying, like, you don't have the experience. And so when you go into the chiropractic niche and you're trying to be the guru of the chiropractic niche, you don't have the confidence to go in there and really get after it in that industry. So it kills you. It kills your sales. It kills your momentum. You're not creating content around that niche because you're not, you don't feel confident about it. Versus podcast editing, mixing, and mastering. Look at this website. I have absolutely zero concern when I come and sign up for this service. I have absolutely zero concern who it is behind the curtain editing my podcast. I really don't. I have absolutely zero concern about, whether it's a person with a audio mixing degree from a major university or work for the Rolling Stones or anything like that. I don't care. What I care about is, did I get my podcast episode back in 24 hours like you promised? And does it sound good? And if it does, awesome. I'm a customer for life. Did you make it easy for me to do that? Awesome. I could care less if you're a guru of anything. So I love these models. I wish more people would do these models. I stress them all the time, and I don't know why more people don't. But this is, Kyle, I know how you're thinking, and I think you will kill it with this type of thing. The other one, this is a service that I just signed up for. I signed up for these guys within 24 hours of finding this site because this is exactly what I'm looking for. Video Husky. It's the exact same as the service I just showed you, but for videos. Your videos edited right, 100% stress-free. We've helped 812 video creators edit 16,000 videos and counting. Are you next? Super simple. I just signed up for these guys. I signed up for the Eskimo plan. And so far, super impressed with their follow-up, their communication, their onboarding, all that good stuff. And I could care less who it is editing my video back there. I know who it is. It's the team that they have in the Philippines. They're just hiring video editors in the Philippines, which that's exactly what I would do if I was running this business. But I could care less what their background is in video editing or anything like that. As long as I get my videos back and they look good, perfect. I'll be a customer of yours for life, So love these models. Love these models. I really do not. I do not like the guru, model. I don't know why so many people focus on that. So, Kyle, I wish you the best of luck with that. And I think that wait, what am I thinking? Yeah. Believe me, I think you're going to come up with a winner here very quickly. All right. Let's see. Olu, can I bring you on camera here? You ready to come on camera? Give me a wave if you are. All right, awesome. Let's do this. Let me bring you on here. Hold on. Let me get the better view. How are you, sir?
Very good.
Good. How can I help you?
Yeah, I asked a question. I want to know how you get your client, your for agency, and then your old IT business. Is there a difference?
So my IT business, I started, how many years ago was that now? 15 year, this is 2022. I started that in 2000. So it's been almost like 19 years since I first started that business. Okay. So that business at that time, there was no Facebook. Okay. It was cold calling. In fact, here's a cool story here to give you guys a little bit of history. Okay. I was in Boston when I started the IT business. My first office was this super expensive office overlooking the Boston Common on the 8th floor of a tower right there on Boston Common that I could not afford in any way, shape, or form. But I got a desk inside of somebody else's office. My next office, which was my first real office, was in this part of South Boston, which if you know anything about South Boston, Southie as they call it, it's like where The Departed was filmed and all that type of stuff. It's a rough, right? It was a rough area. And especially back then, it was a real rough area. It's been updated now. So it's pretty nice now. But so we were able to get a good sized space in there for cheap relatively. So I got a space there, but I needed to immediately sublease some of that space because I didn't need all the space and I couldn't afford all of it. The sublease that I got was the first sales team for what company? Anybody want to take a guess? It was the first sales team for what company? Anybody type it in if you have a guess, or Olu, if you have a guess.
I can't guess. I don't know.
It was Facebook. Facebook's first sales team subleased space for me in Boston. It was like, I can't remember, 8 or 10 people or something like that they set up to start generating revenue for Facebook. That's how early that's how old I am. So that, at that time, it was 100% cold calling and direct mail and networking. 100% cold calling, direct mail, and networking because, and cold email, because there was no advertising on Facebook. There was no Facebook. There was no Instagram. There was no any of those other things, right? Google was there, and the Google pay-per-click network was really just starting to get really good momentum and more broad understanding of how you could use it. So I was very early on in adopting Google AdWords to advertise our services. Most of our competitors could not advertise very well on Google pay-per-click because they didn't have clear packages and stuff that they could offer, whereas I did, because Everon, I put very clear packages up on my website. So that got us a lot of traction early that our competitors could not get. But for agency and in today's world, it is different. The world has changed. The world is all about content now and pulling people to you. It's not about outbound. I mean, not to say that outbound won't still get you results. It will. But in today's world, the way that you get customers is by putting content out there or running ads and pulling them to you. Okay. My favorite way of getting local customers right now is Instagram. And not by DMing them and harassing them in their inbox. That's not what I'm talking about. It's by posting content and sharing their content on my account and using that to create a dialogue with them. That's my favorite way of doing it. But really, in today's world, it's about creating content and promoting that content so that you can pull people to you and let them decide to opt in or schedule on your calendar or whatever it is, and you follow up with them. That's the way to do it in today's world. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Absolutely. Anything else I can help you with?
Yeah, I think that's okay for now.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So let's see here. David, I see you back there. Do you have a question? You want to come on camera? If you do, just wave your hand. All right, I'm not seeing you wave your hand yet. So if you want to come on screen, David, wave your hand. If not, I'm not going to pull you on screen because I don't want to shock you or surprise you or anything like that. So if you do, just wave your hand, okay? Let's see here. Kate B says, what is my Instagram? My Instagram is /Mike_Cooch. Okay, David says he wants to come on. Okay, hold on here.
Hang on.
How's it going, David?
So
if you want to come on screen, David, wave your hand. You need to mute. I'm not going to pull you on screen. You need to mute me on YouTube or anything like that. So if you do, just wave your hand. I'm going to go ahead and mute you right now. Okay, are we good? He says, what is my Instagram? My Instagram is... You need to mute me on YouTube or close out where you were watching me on YouTube and just use this. All right, hold on. Let me see. I'm
on the other side.
Okay, now you're good. Yep.
You can hear me and I'm not hearing you, but that's cool. I'll get it. I did something. Unmute. There we go.
Okay.
Hey, I wanted to follow up on something. Two things. One is I'm doing a lot of websites, and I know there's website templates included. Do I get that with GHL when I join, or is that something you download to me? Do you push those? Or...
Well, so I have website templates for you as an agency. So if you're setting up your agency and you want an agency website, I have those templates for you. If you're looking to get templates for like a plumber or whatever, HighLevel has a bunch of them they've already created for you that you can grab for free. And then there's a marketplace of people who are selling templates through the Go HighLevel marketplace that you can buy anything you want.
Okay, that was the easy question. So the other one is I'm sitting here bouncing around between like MSP services at scale. We touched on it earlier, but I was just trying to dig. I like the fact you're talking about Instagram, which I really need to get on, and I know that's part of your foundation stuff. If I jump in at the 297 level and get MSPA, do I get that, or does that only come with the services at scale? I was a little confused about what comes with what.
Yeah, no, if you sign up at HighLevel at 297 or 497, you get MSP Academy. You also get services that scale Mastermind. You also get leverage selling Mastermind. You get essentially everything that I have to offer if you sign up at 297 or 497 HighLevel through me. If you just sign up at the 97 HighLevel, then you get access to my services that scale Mastermind. That should give you the resources you need to get going, and then you would upgrade from there.
Cool. So I'm better off joining at the MSP.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously up to you and your budget and all that type of stuff, but that's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, if you're paying $300 a month, why not get all that?
Exactly. Yep.
So I'm not losing anything. I'm not missing anything. And
nope.
Then okay, that was super easy.
Awesome.
Better than chatting. Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. All right. I'm going to go back to my screen share here to get a couple more questions that came in on Circle. And then I have to get running here, guys, because I've got something that I've got to get to here pretty darn quickly. So let me answer these. So Hazel, who I believe is, where is she at? Is she in the Philippines or Singapore or, gosh, I can't remember where she's at. But anyway, she had a question. And so let me share my screen and see if I can answer this one. Okay. Hazel says, I'm waiting for Twilio support because she wants to do some follow-up campaigns and reactivation campaigns and stuff like that for the fitness industry. But because of where she's at, she's having a hard time using Twilio. Okay. She says, my clients keep thinking more leads, more leads, more leads, whereas she thinks that they need to do better follow-up and also getting people to stick longer, which I absolutely agree. That's very important. All of those things can be done without increasing ad spend. Absolutely. So I want to explore with you guys, what are some good strategies or campaigns that I can implement for gyms that already have a list of active customers? Okay. So if you've got a gym or any business that's already got a good base of active customers and or past customers that aren't necessarily active, then you can use, just good old reactivation campaigns, resell campaigns. You could do referral campaigns. So if you've got a big, if they've got an email list, a list of customers, then just good old like common sense follow-up. Like, are they making them offers? Are they making them offers regularly? I mean, just that alone, like, it's pretty shocking how many businesses never communicate to their past customers. So if they've got that, and you can just literally be like, hey, look, each month we're going to come up with a new offer to send everybody on the list, some sort of special offer to incentivize them to come back. Like, and that's it, right? So with the gym, with gyms, we know that there's a huge percentage of past customers, right? They came and signed up, they worked out twice and then quit. So there's, I mean, throughout the year, there are all kinds of reactivation campaigns that you can do to get those people back, right? Like, you know, I mean, there's no end to the number of ideas, right? You could also do though referral campaigns for existing customers who are actually paying, showing up, working out, right? You could do some sort of incentive to them, say, hey, you're one of those people who follows through. We want more people like you. Who, you know, who are some friends that you can invite into the gym to work out, so you've got a good workout buddy that is also committed like you. We'll give them a special offer, and if they join, we're going to give you some sort of special bonus too, some sort of referral campaign like that. Okay, those are the types of things that I would look into. Okay, Eric says, if I want to use Go High Level SaaS for my client campaigns without them touching anything, do I need $497 or can $297 take care of that ability? You can do it at the $297 level, Eric. What you lose out on is, I think the most important thing that you lose out on by not being at the $497 is at the $497, you could create packages of the volume of email and SMS that could be sent through their account for a price point. And then if they go over that volume, that you could automatically then charge them for new additional minutes, new additional emails, that type of thing. Just hit their credit card automatically, so that you don't have to worry about tracking, you know, doing any sort of manual tracking of the volume of email or SMS that you're sending on their behalf. Okay, because if you're sending SMS, let's just say out through the system, to you know, to market on behalf of your clients, those are costing you money. So at some point or another, depending on the volume of that, you're going to want to charge your customers more money. If you're not doing that with the SaaS system, you'd have to manually track that, and that's one, just a huge waste of time and potentially a big financial mess for you. So you definitely, you know, I definitely believe that the right way to do that, if that's what you're talking about doing, is just getting on the the SaaS platform. You will save the $200, you know, very, very, very quickly, right? So I can say that for sure. Or you will recover that $200, I should say, that you're spending monthly very, very quickly. Let's see here. I'm looking for one more question that came in through Circle that I was going to respond to here real quick. Where was it? Let me try and track this down real quick. Sorry, and if anybody else has one last question that they want to type in, I can try and tackle that before I run. And I can't find it. I thought that there was one more question in Circle, but I'm not seeing it. And so, oh, no, here we go. SD Home Garden Media. Okay, so SD Home Garden Media says, some questions about starting a local home garden media site. Hopefully you can shed some light. How'd you start a San Diego home garden site? What kind of content would you put on? How to get the content? How often would you be posting? How would you monetize it? Okay, Howard, this is kind of like a, you know, tell me my whole business model in a question. So I'm just going to be able to give you the fast version of this. This is what my local media launch accelerator program is all about. So that's the full business model that I put in that program. But so one, you're getting very specific, this home garden media, okay? If you're doing that for one city, like very specifically home garden media, you may be limiting your audience of people who care about that topic enough to really tune into your site down like pretty darn tiny. And the media business really doesn't work on tiny audiences, right? The media advertising is all about as many eyeballs as I can get my stuff exposed to, right? So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot if you narrow down that narrow, unless you were going to go global or, or go nationwide or whatever it is, right? Because that's a great topic if you're nationwide, because there's a ton of people who are interested in their home gardening. But if you're just doing that in a local niche, I think you got to expand bigger. So you could absolutely do something that's just about, living in San Diego, like as in living as in your home, right? But I would cover topics like your kitchen, your bathrooms, your landscaping, your garden, your, everything, right? Your furniture. So that way you can expand your audience and get much, much, much more people. And you're also opening up to a lot of different kinds of advertisers, right? So I think you got to think a little bit bigger. If you're going to focus on a local market, you got to think a little bit more broad in terms of the topic. If you're going to go nationwide with this, then you can do a narrow topic because you have a massive audience nationwide. In terms of getting the content, a couple ways to get the content. One is to create it yourself. So you just hire writers. And when I say create it yourself, I don't mean that has to be you sitting and typing on a computer. I mean, hire writers. And there are a bazillion writers out there that are willing to write blog posts for you for $40 a blog post, $75 a blog post, $200 a blog post, depending on how long it is and how much original content it is, and all that good stuff. Images, I love getting my images from Instagram, so I will just embed other people's posts, other people's images into my posts. I also use Unsplash a lot to get images. And then in terms of getting traffic, it's social media, right? Everything is social media these days. So you're just going to be sharing that content on, I would absolutely be all over Instagram for anything home related. I would probably spend 75% of my time on Instagram and 25% of my time on Facebook. Okay. All right. Let's see here. From your experience, are customers more comfortable hearing from businesses they frequent by push notifications or text? Text. I think push notifications are super, super niche limited. Like, I don't know. I do not opt in for, like, when you're saying push notifications, you're talking about like on the browser or on an app on my phone. Like I don't get any push notifications from anybody. I don't sign up for anything like that. I think that's a very niche thing. I don't know why in the world anybody would sign up for push notifications from a business on their browsers, on their computer. Like, that just seems crazy to me. But I guess some people do, but no, I think text is by far a bigger opportunity and more commonly used. Okay. Awesome. Look, I got to run. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to office hours. Thank you for being flexible with the schedule and doing this on a Wednesday instead here. I'm going to be traveling here over the next 5 days, so I appreciate it. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please put the office hours calls on your calendar going forward. If you are not currently in our community, please make sure and join our community. And oh my gosh, I don't have a banner in here for the community URL. Let me just grab, well, I'll do that next time. I'll put a link in here below this video. Please join our community so you get the updates on the future office hours calls, scheduling, and also so you can communicate in Circle and in Facebook with us in between those calls. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Leverage Nation for being here. We'll see you on a future office hours call and in the community. Until then, have a great rest of your week. All right. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.